right now, here, it's all about the question of money. Who here would like more money? Yeah. Thought so. So we all know that streaming has really changed the game, but for many artists, and for myself included, I mean, getting that royalty check at the end of the month, it's like getting peanuts sometimes. You know, it's really hard to make a livelihood out of those royalties. So how do we actually fix that? Is it better data? Is it new models? Is it legislation, education, or is it all of the above? Well, we've got the perfect moderator to be hosting this discussion. We've got Neeta Ragoowansi. She's a powerhouse attorney, the president of both the US and international music managers forums, and a fierce advocate for creator rights. She's joined by an incredible panel of experts that I'll let her introduce. So without further ado, 𝗦𝘁𝗿𝗺, please welcome to the stage Neeta and her guests.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. How do I follow a rapture and a jingle? Oh my. Hi, I'm Neeta Ragoowansi. I'm gonna sit down. Should I give you this microphone? Actually, I realize I took it and then. Hi everyone, so thank you, Sudha. Thank you very much. So yes, as Sudha just said, I'm president of Music Managers Forum US, which is the 32-year-old trade association for artist managers, and now we've expanded to say, and self-managed artists. I'm also the president of International Music Managers Forum, which is the umbrella network organization based in Europe, which is there to really connect our global network of over 50 artist manager associations around the world and growing. This topic, of course, then, is so important to our mission, to our cause, and I'm really happy to be here with these wonderful panelists because I'm often thinking about fair remuneration, right? How do we see all of our plays out there and make sure that our artists are getting paid, right? You get played, how do you get paid? What's missing? What's not getting counted for and why? And how do we innovate to make sure that we create that sustainable economy for everybody involved, but making sure that our creators are lifted through? Because of course, we all know it's tough, So, you know, with over 120,000 new tracks, 150,000 is the new updated number, new tracks being uploaded daily, which is an amazing thought. It's just, you know, dealing with just human-made music is challenging, but then on top of it now we have AI-generated content being uploaded. And I don't know, is that 150,000? Oh, we'll ask in a moment. Is that 150,000 number include that or doesn't include that? Anyway, it's getting pretty crowded and it's pretty crazy. And so this raises serious questions about, you know, how do we ensure that real artists aren't pushed further down? And, you know, in that streaming ecosystem, you know, what's going to be efficient to doing all of this remuneration stuff? So I'm excited about this conversation, as I said, and I just want to get going. So let's get started. First, a quick introduction. I'm going to have my panelists introduce themselves. Simon, tell us about you.
Hello, I'm Simon. I work for Capitane Records and 𝗏𝗏𝗺𝗏𝗏. Capitane is co-owned by and co-managed by the artist and their close entourage. Artists and fans participate in decision-making and governance, from music makers to music lovers. My role at Capitane is to develop Capitane Records as an art director and to help grow Capitane Corp.
Excellent. Well, welcome. Thanks for being here. Can't wait to hear your perspective. And yes, my dear friend from Deezer. Tell us all about you.
No, it's not a mistake. I'm both your friend and I work at Deezer, so all good.
I wanted you to say that, not me, sorry.
No. So hi, everyone. Thank you, 𝗦𝘁𝗶 for having us. I'm really happy to be here today. So my name is Agnès. I work at Deezer. I'm in charge of music industry operations, which means a whole bunch of things, but basically how we get Deezer to resonate within the music ecosystem specifically. So AI topics included. And I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you for being here. And Steven.
Hi, good morning. I'm Steven. I'm working at SABAM. SABAM is the Belgian writers organization. We have about 50,000 members, but also representing all songwriters worldwide with our more than 200 partners worldwide. I'm responsible for music because SABAM is a little bit special. We are multidisciplinary, so we are not only representing music, but also audiovisual, theater, literary, and visual art creators.
Excellent. Thank you and welcome. So let's begin by framing the issue. How would each of you, maybe in just a sentence or two, describe the current reality for artists when it comes to remuneration in today's streaming economy? Is it improving? Is it stagnating? What are the challenges emerging, particularly with AI entering the picture? Agnès, you want to?
Sure.
How do you feel?
So I believe it's improving, right? We started with a market-centric, and you want it in 2 sentences, so based on the market-centric approach, there's definitely improvement. I think Deezer typically has been pioneering the artist-centric remuneration model, which obviously we're not, reaching the epiphany yet, but we're very happy about how things are progressing with more transparency and ultimately tending towards a better remuneration or a fair remuneration of artists. There's still progress, but we're better.
Good. Steven.
I can confirm that I see there is improvement compared to a few years ago. But I think there is also a new challenge, and that's all regarding the AI content. We see more fraud on the platforms. And I think it will be part during the panel that we need to find a solution in the ecosystem, how we can prevent that, because it's more, I think there are 150,000 songs every day, and I think there can be 10-15% of them fraudulent, so that will be certainly a topic to handle the upcoming years.
Thanks. And Simon?
Yeah, a few years ago, an independent artist selling 10, 20 or 30,000 albums could make a living. That was enough to keep a project going. Today, the same artists might get 100,000 streams per month, but it doesn't pay the bills. It's nowhere near enough to support a viable career. This model is unsustainable for many artists, even when they have built a substantial community. That said, Deezer's artist-centric model is a step, I think, in the right direction.
In the right direction,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, I mean, payment models do make a difference, and it is, it's so important. So if we were to build a streaming model in the year 2025 from scratch, right, from the beginning, what would fairness actually look like? Are we talking about higher per stream payouts, or more user control, or redistribution across tiers, more rights owner leverage, or something else entirely? Thoughts? Anyone?
I will take.
You can do it.
I think it can be a combination. I think first of all, one of the biggest issues we see is that the price the consumer is paying. It all starts when there are more consumers paying more, and also I think they're certainly a paid subscription. I think the advertised-based subscriptions are really also an issue. So if we can start, not starting with advertised-based, just subscription-based subscriptions with a higher price. And then combined for me with really that we introduce human-created songs with high quality, so less songs, then there is an enormous catalog for a moment. I think when I like to start with a new one, I think that should also be regulated, that it's not 150,000 songs a day that are uploaded.
Transparency, filtering and gatekeeping to get to the quality of things, perhaps. Or, but how do you feel about, Stephen, I'm just going to ask about transparency. Are you feeling like that's part of this new model?
Yeah, I think...
Because it's not part of the old model, I'm just going to say.
Transparency will be important, and I think there, the data quality. It's all started with metadata for me. When a song is uploaded, that you exactly know who has performed, who has written it. And then also in the transparency that you create a link between the song and the consumer who has listened to it. Because I think there also we have a lot of what we call residuals, songs without knowing who. It's about figures we have, it's 15 until 20% of the entire catalog that still is not clear from who it is. And their data quality will be, for me, real. If you can start, just do it correct.
Yeah, exactly, from scratch. Agnès, how do you feel about this?
I think we're in an era where we typically, for example, food. If you like to know what you're eating, what's in it, who produced it, and if you're actually, I don't know about Belgium, but I know that in France, for example, you buy your milk, you see the picture now of the farmer, and there's this thing where I kind of like that approach to what we're consuming, right? And in a sort of utopic world, we could imagine I'm paying for this artist, and he or she has used, maybe there's syrup in your candy. It doesn't matter, but at least you know. So you know that there's AI in it. I'm aligned with you about transparency. I think that actually Deezer champions transparency. We keep on talking about it. It's a transparency rebellion, and I kind of am in line with that. I'd like to know who composed the music. I want to make sure that that person is being remunerated, and if there is AI in there, which we all know is already happening anyways, I want to know about it as well.
May I ask, is Deezer tending towards that?
Oh, 100%. I'm not saying that we're the product that is built from scratch in a utopic world, but we are, based on a reality, tending absolutely towards that. I guess we'll get into this after in the conversation, but it's about transparency. You are what you listen today, in a way. So back to food. I did have breakfast. I'm not just going to speak about food, but I mean, we've just announced that we're tagging content towards our users when it comes to 100% generative AI content. So I think there's this approach about being transparent about what we're listening to, and to your point of having quality over quantity, especially in the catalog, that's essential. You were saying we have 150 million tracks, 150,000 tracks per day. 20% of that is 100% Gen AI content. So it's urgent right now to address that.
It's a big number. Wow.
It's a big number.
Wow, 20% of that. Wow, okay. I didn't realize, and that's amazing. Simon, what are you thinking about from scratch?
I like the Agnès analogy with food. It really speaks to me.
It's making me hungry.
Yeah. At Capitane, we aim to develop new production and distribution practices and build a short supply chain inspired by organic farming, fewer intermediaries, more direct connections between artists and listeners. In the same spirit, fewer tracks better curation, and fairer redistribution. We need a model that supports long-term careers, not just algorithmic performance. And that means giving more power and more value to the artist.
Good, yeah, thank you. So I want to dive into something that we talk about called micropayments. And I just want to make sure definition-wise we're on the same page. Micropayments, we're talking about the idea of smaller, more granular, and even real-time payments, possibly on a per-track or a per-user basis that could reflect actual listening behavior. Micro-royalties, in the music industry are referring to those very small incremental payments that artists get, that copyright owners get, and that they receive from digital platforms like streaming services. And for example, there's a variety of microtransactions, micro uses leading to micropayments. And I like to, personally, I dive a lot into conversations around what does micro-licensing and micro-licensing models look like? What does tech and innovation around that look like? And are we there yet? Do we have the solutions for that? So, Stephen, can you describe what micropayments mean, to you and your business, and is it a viable solution, and why?
Yeah. I think for our composers, it's certainly part of what we need to do, because it's important that every composer and author, songwriter, is paid exactly for what is streamed. If we are referring to the data quality, if you know exactly who has written a song when it's streamed, you should pay it. Therefore, I think micropayments are part of the entire change we need to make. That's also why we built at SABAM a system for that. So we can handle micropayments with our partners. But is that the real solution? I don't think. And certainly, I heard a lot that we need to go to real-time payment. That's not what the composer is asking for us today. It's not required that they receive real-time payments. There should be a timely payment, but is that real-time? No. So I don't think there we need to go further. It will cost a lot of work, which is not required. So micropayments are certainly not a solution for a fairly payment. I think there are other things to do, and that's mainly, I think, other models regarding matching algorithms, probably also the licensing and the payment model. I think Deezer has performed already a move towards artist central. That's certainly more important than focusing on a technology like micropayment. Just go further, define a new licensing model, and that in combination with, I think, and there is still a lot of work, data quality and matching algorithms when the data is...
And you're not saying that it's not that it's not a good thing, but that it shouldn't be priority, because there's so many other things that we need to be looking at to get to that fair remuneration type of thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, if I will talk with 20 different composers, they will say, good, because I'm remunerated for the stream for my song, but that's nothing helping me as Stephen. It's really, I receive 1 cent after a lot of time, just aggregating all that micropayment, that's nothing to go to a fair remuneration.
Interesting. Do you have thoughts on this? Or either of you? Yeah? Go ahead.
I think micropayments is not the solution, but that could absolutely help, especially for emerging and niche artists whose audiences are small but deeply engaged. That kind of granular remuneration makes sense in a world where discovery happens track by track. But we also need to be creative and build alternative solutions. At Capitane, we are working on an alternative model called the Capitane Club.
The Captain Club?
Capitane Club.
Capitane Club.
It's a direct-to-fan platform that we are developing.
Cool.
Fans can subscribe to stream all the music from the label. They also get exclusive content like live sessions or music video premiere or documentaries, interviews. Yeah, so we are working on it. And if they want the full package, we have created the Capitane Collector, where we send six physical albums a year straight to their home. It's a way to bring back value, connection, and community around music. And maybe this kind of platform model could eventually be adopted by other independent labels, maybe. I don't know.
And that's allowing for, I guess for the, what is it? I mean, where does the revenue flow in that system? I'm just trying to connect the dots.
What is the revenue from this system?
Yeah.
I don't know if if we get, I don't know, €100 per person a year. Maybe the artist can get 50 or 60 euros.
And there's just but so you're saying it's just sort of like having this sort of activity where there's more of a direct connection to, yeah.
Hello. Yeah, hi. Yeah. There's like merch and other, you're diversifying the portfolio and enabling new revenue streams. Is that what it, okay.
I see. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So interesting. I'm thinking about this. So, Stephen, from a PRO perspective, what are like some legal, or the lawyer in me has to ask, what are some of those legal and infrastructural challenges, that are stopping us from getting to more fair remuneration?
I think on legal, I have to, probably one specific for Belgium, but you can reflect it also on European level. In Belgium, we have currently, with the translation of the DSM law, it's not clear. There is uncertainty. So what we'll be handling, and the main topic I want to bring is, okay, it's regulated in Europe on the European level, but all countries need to translate that to country level. Just see that there is a fixed law so that you know exactly what will be handled, because there are no open ends, and that has an impact. Will you invest when a government changes its mind? You will not do it. So that's certainly the uncertainty on translation of the European law. And then,
may I ask just specifically, like, what sort of European laws? Are we talking copyrights? Are we talking tax? What area?
It is both. It's on copyright. You have a specific translation in Belgium which is currently for court. So there is certainly, we did a specific translation from an European law. And I think there just have a final conclusion that will help us to innovate also in Belgium. And then on the second thing I want to say is on fiscal level. The withholding taxes, it's also on European level, but that's becoming more and more a problem. I see that every country is translating its own withholding tax rules, given the ecosystem from streaming platforms. We have a system for micropayments, but depending from which country the streaming is coming, we need to apply other tax rules. Yeah, that will be more and more complex, and probably why not just one fiscal withholding tax law on the Europe level and each country the same?
It's tough, it's tough. Yeah, I mean, and then, just global payments and getting harmonization around that so that we can have it flow easily. Oh, it's its own topic for sure. It's one that I need to see. Do you have a thought here? No, okay. So, I want to move just because I look at our time, and I want to move really into the Gen AI tracks. I want to look at transparency and how are we getting to sort of, past, sort of safeguarding that artist remuneration around, when we have Gen AI tracks and they're claiming more streaming share. And Agnès, can you just sort of take us through that a little bit and what it looks like and where there are some solves that might happen in that space?
Sure. Something I find funny in a way is that when streaming started 15 years ago, we were all fighting on having as much catalog as possible. We signed this and we got that and we have the, anyways, we were all excited about having a big catalog. And now we're freaking out, let's be honest, because we have every day 20,000 tracks uploaded that are 100% Gen AI. And as you were saying, as we started the panel, like many tracks a day. So now it's not about quantity anymore, it's about the quality of the catalog. I'm going to speak for Deezer, obviously, because that's where I work. And so what we've started is last year, typically, we deleted 26 million tracks, which were noise. So vacuum cleaner sounds, washing machine sounds, birds.
I'm just thinking about, because I love to fall asleep to vacuum cleaner sounds.
Exactly.
It's my favorite.
But there's no judgment on that. Again,
Thanks.
My president was saying that he falls asleep to the sound of rain on a rooftop. But we can't, compare that to, clap your hands, say yeah, whatever, like a song, right?
Right on.
So what Deezer did typically with those 26 million tracks is that we replaced some of these sounds that our users want to hear and not listen but hear, let's say, and we created these sounds because we have a fantastic tech department, R&D department. Actually, I invite you all to be at the panel of Aurélien today at 2. He's our Chief Innovation Officer. He rarely speaks, and when he does, it's just mind-blowing. Anyways, so we replaced these sounds by creating them ourselves. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we removed the remuneration of these tracks, meaning Deezer created the sound of birds or of rain on the roof, and we are not getting paid for that, and we are putting the money back into the pie so that artists, get their cut. And so we demonetize that. Still in the focus around the quality of the catalog versus just quantity. So again, the teams of Aurélien have put in place a technology enabling us to detect fully generative AI content. And we have taken the parti pris to remove these tracks. So when they're 100% generative AI, so if there's an 80% or if the drums, we won't get into that because there's the whole ethical, philosophical conversation whether or not it's music or not. So it's not for us to play that make that decision. But when it's 100% generative AI, we decided to remove these tracks from recommendation. So lean back playlists should not include 100% generative AI content. And the reason why I'm bringing this up also is because it does impact remuneration. When you are listening to whatever radio on Deezer or another streaming service, if you're there. Actually, if by some, hasard of life, you're listening to a generative AI content, you're paying for that. And most of the time, that content is fraud. Because you don't think that the guys that are creating noise, 20,000 tracks, again, a day, they're creating this because they want to see how it sounds. They're doing this because it's fraud. At the end of the day, they want to do this so that fake machines somewhere in a farm is listening to fake music. So that's the problem. And that's not only a problem for our users, but it's a problem, of course, for the artists who are not getting paid because someone is doing that for fraudulent reasons. Sorry, I'm getting a...
No, do it. Love it. Cool. Stephen, how do you feel? I feel like you're reacting there. AI... music?
I can only confirm that because I think that's really also what we want to do. This. I was wondering that Deezer can do it. I'll certainly be at the 2 o'clock presentation because you can identify the AI works already. So that's certainly something. We see a lot of fraud the last weeks with songs who are just created like now sounds, but also original, really top tubes, which were just by fraudulent right holders. They are just putting some new sentence or just changing a little bit the composition, and then you listen to that, and that's also not okay for us. So really happy with Deezer doing that.
I just want to add a little something. Deezer has not only put 2 patents to identify these tracks, etc., but now we're being transparent about that with our users. So we are now saying if this content is Gen AI, 100% Gen AI, we will now flag it. So it's not bio.
So you're flagging it, you're tagging it.
We're tagging it. You as a user will see this content is generated by AI. So this track is maybe explicit content, and this one has AI, 100% AI.
Right. And I'm curious, are the independent labels, are you working to... Actually, yeah, just you know what I'm going to ask you, I think. Go into the... I know you have thoughts on this AI, you have thoughts on fairness in general.
And transparency.
And transparency.
Yeah, I think that transparency is absolutely the key. At Capitane, we are focused on creating an ecosystem that is human-centered and sustainable. Capitane is co-owned and co-managed by the artists and their close entourage. Artists participate in decision making and governance. In a way, the artist is signing with themselves, even if we are here to manage the day-to-day, to find solutions to support their growth and help develop their careers. Transparency is therefore one of the foundations of the label.
Sure.
We believe that artists should always understand how they are paid, where the money comes from, and who takes what, in clear and simple terms. We try to keep it direct and human.
Yeah.
Great.
Absolutely.
Panel, it's time.
Oh, yeah, feeling that it's time.
Do you want to do a wrap up?
I mean, it's such a huge topic, and, I want to sort of ask that sort of grand last question, right, about, in one sentence, we'll do it fast, right? What is the single most urgent action that must be taken in the next 12 to 24 months to make streaming fairer for artists? Just that quick one thing. Stephen?
Only qualitative songs, so less songs, and only the qualitative one should be on the platforms.
Less songs, more quality. Agnès?
So yes, and more collaboration. Because we all have great ideas, but if we don't work together as an industry, it won't happen.
Yeah, and Simon?
Higher consumer price, better payouts, and remove fraudulent AI songs.
Yeah. Let's arm wrestle for the money. Exactly. So thank you so much to our panelists. Thank you for listening. And if you have questions on the side later, we're around for chit-chatting. Thank you. Thanks.
Give it up for Neeta and her guests.